So if you didn't know, employers, entrepreneurs, and employees alike all have a brand. Yes, they all have a brand. BeLive is amazing, and it affords all of us an opportunity to use tools to where we can share our brand and do it in a fun and fabulous way so that you can display your brand and you can display it on purpose and display it intentionally. Entrepreneurs and employers, they define their brand based on their business, based on the service or the sales that they provide or that they sell. And if you don't have a business in the traditional sense, if you're an employee, you don't have a business in the traditional sense, you should still work on creating your very own personal brand because you already have a brand. Whether you realize it or not, you already have a personal brand. Your personal brand is made up of different things. It's made up of your experiences and it's made up of your expertise. But you want to make sure that your personal brand is your personal brand and it's shared specifically in the way that you want to share it. You want to control the narrative of your personal brand. You don't want others to share what your brand is about and that information not be true. You want to control the narrative of your own personal brand to make sure that the information shared is accurate and it is true because you want to reveal the best parts of you. And those are the best parts of your personal brand. So I want to share with you how and why you should define your personal brand before anyone else does. Because, like I said, you want to control the narrative and you don't want to leave it up to someone else because they could very well get it wrong. So, we want individuals to be attracted to our brand and you want them to be attracted to the value that you bring. Mhm. So, hello everyone, and welcome to Branding. I'm Janet Smith, and I'm a over 20-year human resources professional, and I review personal brands for a living. What does that mean? Well, in the world of recruitment and staffing, I review resumes for a living, and that is a tool that individuals use to share their personal brand. It's all about you, it's all about your expertise, it's all about your experience, it is about your character. That is your personal brand. That is why I say everyone has a personal brand, whether they realize it or not. And I want to take you on a bit of a mindset shift when you think about your brand. I want to take you on a mindset shift. So think about this for a moment and imagine this for a moment. Your employer is your customer. Your employer is your customer. If you have an employer, if you are an employee, your employer is your customer of your brand. So as an employee, you are a business of one. You're a business of one as an employee. So your mindset should be in that you're partnering with your employer, not working for them. That will totally shift your productivity. That will totally shift your mood level. And that will totally put you in the place that you need to be for your personal brand. Go on that mindset shift with me. So, your personal brand is how you provide value for your customer. Your customer is your employer if you're an employee. So, your brand is how you provide value for your customer. All brands, everyone has a brand. So I want you to take the steps to prove your value: consistency, respect, reliability, knowledge. Those tools or those skill sets are all your differentiators because they're all different and you can do them only in the way that you can do them. That is your true differentiator. So ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself, how do I save my customer which remember who your customer is. Your customer is your employer. How do I save my customer money for a measurable return on their investment? How do I save my customer money for a measurable return on their investment? Measurable. Ask yourself this question. What problem am I passionate about solving with the skills that I have? What problem are you passionate about solving with the skills that you have? And also ask yourself, what beliefs have I developed as a result of my past experiences? Like, what are my processes that I put in place? And what are my beliefs? Ask yourself that question. So, employers and entrepreneurs have already asked themselves these questions before going into business. And as an employee, I want you to ask yourself those questions as well, because your personal brand should always be evolving, and you should always be continuing to attract new individuals to you. That is how we grow. That is what you're here to do. You don't want to become stagnant. You want to continue to grow. So, if you are an employer, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are an employee, regardless of what you are, you should have a platform where you can control the narrative of your brand. Everyone should have a platform. BeLive is actually a very great resource for you. It's a platform for you to share your brand. As an employer, employers can use it to share their brand. Entrepreneurs can use it to share their brand, and employees can use it to share their brand as well. So, employers, you can talk to your customers. Entrepreneurs, you talk to your customers. And employees, you talk to your customers. Who's your customer? Employers, or your potential employer if you're not employed. You can use this as a platform to talk to your potential employers. What do I mean by that? I will tell you. So, when you know who your customers are, you'll know what to say in your live streams. You'll know how to show up and what to say. So, you want to control the narrative, and you want to tell everyone the story that you want them to know, the story of you, and no one can tell it like you. So you want to tell them the who, the what, the where, the why, the how of what they're watching in your live stream. So what does that mean? You want to tell them who they're watching. You want to tell them what they're watching, where they can find you, when they can watch you, why they should keep watching you, and even how to respond to you. So what does that look like if we dig a little bit deeper? Who they're watching. This is your identity. This is you. This is your expertise. What they're watching. This is your added value, the value that you add, and where they can find you. This is letting them know what social media platforms that you show up on, where you are in social media, and when they can watch you. This is you telling them what your schedule is. This is you sharing with them and showing them that you are consistent. Consistency evolves into trust, into them trusting you and believing you. So you want to share with them why they should keep watching you. This is your purpose and your mission. What's your purpose, your passion? Why should they keep watching this or watching you? And how to respond to you. This is your call to action. What action are you asking them to take, or to think about, or to realize in your show? So you want to communicate your niche, your differentiator. What makes you different? And honestly, we all have our very own unique differentiators, because no two people are alike. We are all different. Your message is different from someone else. If it's the exact same words as someone else, your message is still different, because your delivery is totally different than anyone else. Your value, your personality, and what you offer. So what does that look like if we dig a little bit deeper? What is your differentiator? What elements in your brand do you use to help stop the scroll in your message? We're going to talk about that even more. So your value, that's what experience that you're giving to your customer. When your customer, your audience consumes your content, when they watch your live stream, what experience do they have? Are they excited by what you're sharing on the screen? Are they surprised by what you're sharing on the screen? Are they pleased by what you're sharing? What's the experience that you're bringing to them? And your personality, this comes into play with your font choices, your color choices, all of that. And we'll talk about that more as well. And your offer, what are you offering them? Are you offering, as a business, are you offering something free? Are you offering something paid? Are you offering advice? Are you offering a download? What are you offering? Think about those things as well. So let's take a look at the meaning of colors. I said I was going to go into that a little bit more. So let's take a look at the meaning of colors. So I have this chart here, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that you can see it a little bit closer. So as you see this chart here, it has lots of colors from the rainbow, and each color has a psychology, has a meaning behind it. And what I mean by that is when people see this color, these are likely some of the feelings or emotions that they feel when they see these specific colors. So if you look at the color green, a feeling or emotion that someone can have when they see this color is calm, soothing, reassuring, peaceful, and health, growth, life, healing, and money. Same with the color blue. If you look at blue, feelings that people typically have when they see this color are credible, reliable, professional, trust, strength, peace, confidence, and integrity. These are some of the feelings that people have when they see this color. I'm going to skip down to the color orange. Energizing, desire, warmth, cheerful, and confident. I'm sharing with you those colors because those are my own branding colors. These are the feelings that I want people to have when they view my content. That is why you'll see my colors are blue, orange, and green. So those are the feelings that I want people to have when they view my content. So you think about the feeling that you want your customers to feel when they are consuming your content. It can still be colors that you like, but I want you to at least think about what the colors and how the colors make other people feel. So like I said, I want my customers to feel as if I'm a resource, to feel as if I'm a source, a trustworthy source, a reliable source, and I want them to feel confident. I say trustworthy with the color blue, and confident with the color orange. I want them to feel confident in their career search because I deal with candidates, and I want them to feel confident in their new hire because I deal with clients as well. So those are the underlying colors, core colors for my brand, because I want my audience to feel a certain way. Those aren't necessarily my favorite colors, but that is what I want my brand to emit. And my um, customer, my customer is important to me right now, and I want to make sure they feel a certain way and that they have a certain experience. So let's take a look at making a live stream, and making a live stream where you can stop the scroll, or where your customers are stopping the scroll, stopping their scroll. And I want to look at this using Canva. Canva is actually one of my very favorite tools to use. It is so easy to use and very beneficial for you to use in conjunction with BeLive in creating the branding elements for your brand and for your live stream. So I want to hop into Canva, and I want to show you how you can create a scroll stopping live stream using some different branding elements. So BeLive lets you create different branding elements for your live stream. You have different themes that you can choose from. You can upload your logo, you can upload an overlay, and you can also upload a background. So as you see, while we've been watching the show and you've been consuming this content, you see my background all around. It's blue and it's orange, and it has my logo that keeps waving in on a GIF. So BeLive lets me have my background here, and you can see that, and you can know the name of my business without me even telling you. Pretty cool, right? So I have some tips on the theme, your logo, your overlay, and your background. So let me make this a little bit bigger so that you can see it a little bit better. So when you're talking about your theme, when the theme shows up when you add elements to your screen. So if you're doing a screen share while you're in the classic theme, you want to use a graphic that is the size 1920 by 1080. And this is a presentation size graphic. If you're using the modern theme and you do a screen share, you want to use a graphic that is the 1080 by 1080 size. This is the classic social media size graphic. It's the square. And when you create graphics that are in these specific sizes and these specific themes, it enhances the look of the theme. It makes everything look uniform and it complements the theme the best. So with regards to your logo, when you're uploading your logo, you want to upload it as a PNG file that has a transparent background if you don't want the background to show. You can also upload a GIF for your logo. If you have a moving logo, you can upload a GIF as long as it doesn't exceed 15 megabytes. And when you upload your overlay has to be in a PNG file, and it has to have a transparent background so that it will lay over your camera screen and everyone can still see you. So if you're uploading your very own background, you can upload a JPG file, which is a picture file, or you can upload a GIF as well. But if you do upload a GIF, remember that it also cannot exceed 15 megabytes. So keep those sizes in mind, and you may want to do a screenshot so that you'll have that to know for the future when you create your branding elements. So I want to show you this modern theme so that you can see what this looks like, and I'll show you a little bit closer. So this is the modern theme, and the modern theme has the 1080 by 1080 sized graphic, which is the perfect square. So as I was saying, when you do a screen share, it shows this size graphic in its ideal form. And over on the left-hand side, you can see my camera, which is also in that same 1080 by 1080 size frame, so that the sizes are the same. One's not larger than the other. And this is actually my favorite. The modern theme is my favorite. And you can see in the upper left-hand corner, that's part of my overlay. In the bottom right and left-hand corner, you also see my overlay. And then you can see in the upper right-hand corner, my logo. And the bottom middle, I show you that that's the background that I'm using for this broadcast. And from our chart before, you wanting to control the narrative, you know, the who, the what, the where, the why, and the how of your live stream, I'm showing you those elements on here as well. So the what is, what are they watching? They're watching my show called Lunch and Learn. And why are they watching this? They're watching this so that they can learn some items, because my show is typically around the lunchtime hour. So they want to watch it so they can learn while they're on their lunch hour. And you see I have the who here. I actually have my name within my overlay, but you can use the BeLive feature. BeLive has a feature where you can add your name into the stream. So you can choose either way that you want to add your who. So the where in the bottom left-hand corner, I have in my overlay my social media handles. So the where is where can they find you? This is where my audience can find me. And this is all in my overlay. So I don't have to say this in my broadcast over and over because it's on my overlay. If you're coming into the broadcast in the beginning, the middle, or the end, it's okay because all of this information is going to be on the screen regardless of when you come into the broadcast. You'll still be able to know what you're watching, why you're watching it, who you're watching, and where you can find me. And if you look in the right-hand corner of this screen, you'll see the when. I have the when that shows when I broadcast. On my Lunch and Learn Live show, I broadcast every Thursday live on LinkedIn and live on Facebook. So this lets my audience and my customers know when my consistency time frame is, when they can find me, when I am consistently showing up. And in the bottom left-hand side of the screen, I have my how. I have this here because you can add a crawler on the bottom of your screen, which will be your call to action. And this is what you want them to do, how you want them to respond to your broadcast. So I want to also show you the classic theme. This is the same but different. Everything's the same, but the sizes are different. So you can see the size of this graphic is 1920 by 1080. And this is the presentation size graphic. The classic theme has the presentation size graphics that are side by side. It's not as close together as the modern theme, and you can actually see more of my background in this picture than you can in the modern theme. But I like the modern because it's up close, but you can make the choice for yourself. In this classic theme, you can see more of my background as well, but I still show you the who, the what, the where, the why, and the how of adding those elements into my overlay. And so on this screen right here, I'm showing you what it looks like if you're not sharing your screen. In the upper right-hand corner, you see my logo. And the top left-hand corner, you see my overlay. And then the bottom right and left-hand side, you see my overlay as well. So that gives you an idea of your branding elements and what it can look like and what you can create for your live stream. So would you like to go into Canva and create some of these elements? Well, I want to show you and share with you how to do that over in Canva. So let me show you this a little bit closer once again as I'm sharing with you. We're going to create a logo, an overlay, and a background in Canva. So once again, when we do, if you already have a logo, you can upload your logo right into the BeLive Studio. But if you don't have a logo, you can go ahead and create one in Canva. If you are a business, if you are an employer or an entrepreneur and you already have a logo, like I said, you can upload that right into Canva. If you don't, you can create one in Canva. If you are an employee and you don't have a logo, that's okay. You can just create a logo using your initials, or you can create a logo using an icon that you like, or some type of element that you like. And I'll show you more about that. So it can be a PNG file, which will give you a transparent background, or it can be a GIF file, but the GIF file cannot exceed 15 megabytes. And I'll show you what that looks like as well. So we're going to create an overlay, which is going to be a PNG file with a transparent background. And I'll show you how to create a background file as well. You can do either a JPEG, a JPG file, or a GIF file that does not exceed 15 megabytes. Are you ready? So this is what I suggest for you first. Before you create your branding elements that are going to complement your personal brand, which is you are your personal brand. Before you create your branding elements that tell your story and share your narrative, take a screenshot of yourself in your BeLive studio. So get your camera on, get in front of the studio and take a screenshot and save that screenshot so that you can upload it over into Canva. So I'm trying to recreate it. So take a screenshot of yourself so that you can gauge and get a better idea of where exactly you want to add your branding elements when you get over into Canva. And if you think that you're going to add a crawler, which is a message at the bottom of your screen, go ahead and take a screenshot of yourself with the crawler at the bottom. So this will give you a better visual of exactly where you can place those items that you're going to add into your overlay. So just remember that you are controlling the narrative, you are telling the story, and the who, what, where, why, when, and how of your live stream. These are elements that you can add, or these are items that you can add into your branding elements. So we're going to add some of these into the overlays that we create over in Canva. So let's go ahead, and I want to go into Canva so that we can start this creation process. Who's ready? Let's go into Canva. Okay, so let's go ahead and create our overlay first. And when you create your overlay, if you're doing it in the classic size theme, like this is the theme that we're in right now, which is the classic theme, and it has the 1920 by 1080 size graphics. So when you go into Canva, you can go into the presentation style graphic because that is the ideal size for this classic mode right here. So if you go into templates, I'm going to make my screen bigger so that you can see it a bit better. So if you go into templates, then Canva is awesome because it has so many different templates that you can choose from. If you have no idea of where to start with your branding and what to create, you can choose any one of these templates, and it will be a great guide for you to start. So I am under templates, and I'm going to choose this simple presentation right here and just click on see all. And you have an abundance of options from which to choose. I'm going to choose this one that says corporate brand guidelines. And even still, you can create any of these into an overlay. So I'm just going to take this first one right here. I'm going to add another page, and I'm going to delete this right here. And so I'm going to add this first page, and it just says corporate brand guidelines, but we can use this to create our overlay. So I can click on this very first element right here, and I can add my branding colors. Since my colors are blue and orange, I will click on this first one, and I'm going to just make that orange and this one blue. So you see how it changes the color. And I'm going to click on this element in the bottom right, and I'll make that orange, and I'll make this one blue. And here I want to make this color into my branding colors as well. I'll just make that orange. And I'm going to make this first. Let's see here. I'm going to change this. So this in the middle, this can be your what, which is your show name. And I'm going to actually ungroup so I can take the show name and make it a little bit smaller and put it up at the top. And so, oh, one thing that I didn't do was upload our photo. So, well, I didn't show you. It's actually already uploaded, but I'm going to go to my screenshot here and add that into here so that I can have a better idea of the size. Right? Because we want to know exactly where these elements show up. So I'm going to put this behind everything so I'll have a better idea of where it's going to show up. So this, since this is dark, and this is exactly why it's a good idea to do a screenshot of your camera and upload it so you'll see what the element or what the font and the font colors look like against your background. So since this is dark, I'm going to make this, let's see what it looks like in orange. I guess I can make it orange. I would either make this orange or white. I'll go with orange. And down at the bottom here, I would make this orange as well. So with this element right here, it's covering up a bit much. So I'm going to pull it down. I'm going to actually turn it on its side and scoot it to the corner right here so that it's not covering it up too much. And remember, when you have a crawler, it's going to come in front of that. So I've used this to display my show name, and this is my what, and my why, which is the purpose and mission of my particular broadcast. Could be the title of my show. It can be the title of my message. And this can be my time frame. I'm on every Thursday at 12:30. So I'm going to actually do a duplicate of this, and I'm going to put it right under here. And I'm going to say, follow me. And then I can go into elements and I can choose whatever social media handles that I want my audience to follow me. And I can add those into the frame. So if I want them to follow my YouTube channel, I can add that icon. If I want them to follow me on Facebook, I can add that icon. And then if I want them to follow me on LinkedIn, I can also add that one as well. And remember, this is all in our frame. So all of these elements are going to show up on the top of our broadcast regardless. So just remember that whenever you create your frame, you want to go ahead and delete the picture in the middle, because that's just a gauge. That is just there to give you an idea of where to place everything. So let's add a new page and let's look at another template and do another frame. So let's go to this quick nap and see what we can choose from this purple. Let's say, let's choose this one. Who is Quick Nap for? So I will choose this, and well, right here, this will be my show name. The name of my show, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And I'm going to change it into my branding colors. And same right here, this can actually be the title of my show. And this can be my social media. I can have the title of my show, and then I can have the time. Thursdays at 12:30 or whatever time. And then, of course, I can add my social media elements, the icons that you want to share there. And so that your audience will know where to find you. And we can add Twitter. You can add any elements that you want, and you can actually click on elements and you can search for the specific icons that you want to add. So if you want to look specifically for Facebook icons, it'll bring a host of them up, and you can search for everything individually, or you can just search for social media icons, and it will bring a host of them up as well. So I want to make this a little bit smaller, and I'll make this a little smaller, and this a little smaller. And this I definitely want to make smaller. And this is smaller as well. So if you have a freemium, if you have a graphic that you want to add into this little iPad picture, you can definitely do that. Like if I wanted to add my color chart in here, I could add that. I could add my own picture in there as well. So let's add ourselves in here to get an idea of the placement. So this shows us exactly where that's going to show up, and then the show name as well. We can change this into our branding colors, right? So this gives you an idea of how you can create a frame easily in Canva. You can go into the templates under presentation, and you can edit any template on here, but you just have to make sure, like I said, you delete your picture so that your frame will show and you'll be able to see your camera view behind the overlay. So I'm going to go ahead and add a new page. And if you're creating your background, you can go straight to the background feature, and you can choose from landscapes, patterns, gradients, and abstracts. If you notice, my background is actually from abstracts. This is the background that I use for my show, and you can choose any of these that you want, or you can actually search within photos if you want to choose a specific type of background. If you want an office setting, if you want a beach setting, if you want a holiday setting, anything that you want, you can do that. So if you want to choose this office setting right here, you can do that. And another thing that you can do is you can adjust the transparency so that the picture isn't as bold and it's kind of grayed out so that it doesn't interfere with the information that you're sharing on the screen. So that is how you can create your very own background if you want to add a background into your live stream. So with this background here, if I want to add, let's see, if I want to add text on here, follow us, and let's just say I want to duplicate that, and then duplicate that again, and move it around, move all of them around, and duplicate that again, and move them around, and then duplicate that again, and move those around. So this is just an example. You can type any word that you want to type into here, but I just want to show you how you can create your background into a GIF, a moving GIF. So this is page 45. If we download this page, we can download it as an animation. And we want to, let's go to that page. Let's go specifically to that page 45 and animation. So you can decide if you want your animation to look like a slide, if you want the words to slide in, to pan in, to fade in, or to rise in. I want to add the pan in, and then specifically for the GIF, and specifically just for this one page, when you do this for your background, you have to make sure that your background is on its own page. And you don't want to do it if you have multiple pages like this one right here. So you want to make sure if you're adding a GIF for your background, you want to make sure that it's just one page. So let's do this. We're going to go ahead and download this overlay, which is number 43. A PNG transparent background, page 43. Done. Download. And then we're going to download this page 44, this other overlay that we created as a PNG transparent background, page 44. And our design has been published. Awesome. So now I want to show you really quickly, if you go into creating a design, you can create your own logo. If you already have a logo, you can upload it, but if you don't, you can go through the logos that are on Canva, the templates, and you can edit it to create your very own logo. If you are an employee and you're broadcasting to your customer, which is your employer, and you don't have a logo, you can choose any of these logos and you can edit it for yourself. I'm just going to choose this very first one, and I'm going to edit it to put my initials. If you don't have a logo, you can just put your initials within your live stream. So that way, as people are watching and they watch your consistency and they watch you show up all the time, they'll get familiar with that logo that you show them. So I just have this as the letters JS, which are my initials, and I'm going to download this as a PNG transparent file as well. And if you want to download your logo as an animated GIF, you can download by going to animation and choosing the animation style. I like the slide. And the file format, you can choose an animated GIF, and then you can download that. and our design has been prepared. So I want to show you this last one really quickly on create a design. We're going to go into presentation, which is the 1920 by 1080 size. And this is what I was saying with regards to your background. If you want to add your background and just, make it a photo, this is the photo that we had. Let's see here. And if you add text to your background, follow us, follow me. This is just a cool way that you can add animation to your background, adding this information randomly. So this follow me could be the name of your show. It can be the name of your mission. It could be the information that you're sharing. It could be an affirmation. It could be some encouraging words. You can make this into anything that you want, any type of words that you want to have for the background. So when you download this, you want to go to animation and you want to go to whatever animation style that you want. If you want the words to pan in that way, if you want the words to come in as a block, if you want them to slide in, rise, breathe, or simple. I like the slide. And so then you're going to choose the animated GIF file, and then you're going to download that file. And so our file is preparing for download. So how cool was that? Creating those elements were not that difficult, right? I think it was pretty easy. And of course, you can rewind this and rewatch it if you need a recap on how to create those elements. But I want to show you what that looks like, and I want to show you what our designs look like as we place them right over the top of our broadcast right now. So I'm going to get a little bit closer and get a little bit closer to you while I download those elements that we created. So if you remember, we created a logo. We created a logo that is a static image, and we also created a logo that is an animation. So I want to upload this one first. So this is our logo that we created with the PNG transparent background. And so now I want to go ahead and download the logo that is actually the animation. So this will not be a transparent background, but it will be an animated logo so that you can actually see it moving. So here it is. So this is our animated logo so that you see it is a GIF and it is actually moving. So pretty cool, right? So let's upload our overlay, the new overlay that we created. We created 2 different overlays, and I'm going to upload both of them and show you what that looks like within the stream. So this is the one that we've created with the iPads that were in the bottom, where we use the color chart to add to that. And we have our show name right here, and then we have the information about our social media right there as well. So you can brand your show this way. And so there's one more overlay that we created that I want to share with you and show that one to you as well so that you can see what that one looks like. So in that element, we actually added the overlay that has the colors on this side and on that side. And it also has our social media information right there as well. Pretty cool, pretty easy for you to create your overlay and to create your logo. Even if you don't have a logo, you can create your initials, make your initials into your very own logo. That's okay, because you just want to make sure that you are showing up consistently. You are showing up consistently using the frames that you created, because once you create these overlays and your logo and you create it in Canva, it's going to stay there. When you upload it into your BeLive studio, it's going to stay there. It's great to have Canva because you can go in there and you can edit it as you need it. You can change it seasonally, or you can change the name or the title of your specific broadcast for that week. For that week. I say that intentionally because consistency is the key. Create your brand elements to show up in your personal brand and show up consistently. So consistently doesn't necessarily mean that you have to come on all the time, but when you show up the same way. Show up with the branding elements that you've created so that they can recognize you, and as they're scrolling on the screen, they're going to stop the scroll because yours looks a little bit different and it looks pretty cool, if I might add myself. One last thing that I'll share with you is the background that we created. So I'm going to upload our background that had the moving words in the background. So I'm going to upload that as an animated GIF so that you can see what that looks like. And so actually, that file that I created on Canva, there were too many words. That file exceeded 15 megabytes, so I'm not able to upload that. Remember that if you're uploading a GIF as a logo or as a background, it cannot exceed 15 megabytes. Remember that. So definitely be consistent. Definitely show up and show up consistently. Show up with the branding elements that you have, and using Canva will help you to create those pretty easily. And it's going to help you to make sure that you not only get your message out there, that you're not only branding yourself for your customer, which is your current employer, your potential employer, you are showing up, and it's kind of like having a live resume. It's kind of like having an electronic or a live version of your resume as an employee. Your potential employer is going to do some research on you, and you want them to find some information out about you that you might not be able to convey to them on paper. So when they find you and they see you're showing up consistently and you're sharing your brand, you're sharing your message, whatever your expertise is, this could give you a foot in the door. This could allow you to have an interview that you might not otherwise have been able to get. So show up. Employees have a brand, entrepreneurs have a brand, employers have a brand as well. Share and show your brand intentionally and narrate your own story, because you don't want anyone to narrate it for you.